Hey, what's going on YouTube? Chuckles again with another Diablo 3 video. Today I want to talk to you guys about what Blizzard has released for patch 2.1, the first look. I want to talk about some of the changes they're making, some of the content they're adding, and what you should expect from it. So first and foremost, they're going with seasons. So this is very similar to Diablo 2. I don't know if you guys ever played Diablo 2. Most of us did, I'm sure. And then if you're a big fan of Path of Exile also does a lot with seasons. So seasons, what that means is basically you start from scratch with a level 1, no gear, nothing in your bags, nothing. And they're going to, and they talk about this a little bit further down the line too, but there's going to be leaderboards and stuff like that. But basically what a season is you start from scratch, and then it's a race to see who can get the most geared, get the most achievement points, get the highest Paragon level, so on and so forth, all starting from scratch, and then they're going to keep track of the best players and then throw them on leaderboards. So conquests with the start of each season, players will have the opportunity to earn conquests. Season-only achievements, you can only get those achievements by playing in the season. First come, first served. To complete a conquest will be given, this season will be immortalized with the season's regional leaderboard. So that's kind of cool, but mainly what I think is going to be amazing the most about seasons is the fact that they're adding season character only specific legendaries. So new items, which is awesome. I cannot wait for that, to see the new gear that you can get. So you don't have to participate, like it says right here. You don't have to do them. The game's not going to change for you if you just choose not to do it, but it's going to be interesting. I'm pretty excited. Here's a little screenshot. See how it says Season 2, and it keeps track of like new stats for your characters and stuff for what you do within that season. So it's kind of cool, just another way to bring life back into, Diablo 3 hack and slash game. So next, they're adding in greater rifts. They called these tiered rifts for a little while, but they switched the name to greater rifts. I don't know why. Either way, they're going to be extremely cool. So what this is, let's pull this up. So this, you turn a rift stone into a greater rift stone, and what's going to happen is you will, instead of just filling up your bar, like if this was a regular rift, filling up your bar to reach the Rift Guardian, you're on a time limit. And within that time limit, you have to basically get as far as you possibly can, and that's what they're going to judge you off of. So it looks extremely cool. Another thing that I would like to note is that most of the mobs within a Greater Rift will not drop any loot, none whatsoever. That way, which I think is a good thing. For the reasoning of why they're doing it is because, here, let me see. Yeah, right here. Most monsters do not drop rewards. It removes the pressure from attaining a better time versus picking up all the loot. So you don't have to worry about stopping to pick up everything. Like when I play Diablo 3 and I do rifts and such, I literally pick up everything. You can never have too many crafting mats, so I pick up every blue, every yellow. My treasure pygmy from the puzzle ring, he usually picks up all my white items, but I pick up all of it. So you can't teleport within a greater rift. You can't use the banner to teleport to another player, so it's probably best if you guys not split up, in my opinion. Like, you could split up to get the timer down faster, but in my opinion, I think you should all stick together in case a legendary drops off of something, just in case. You don't want to have to, like, go all the way across the map to pick it up. The further you progress, the harder they get. I think it's going to be extremely cool. I'm really ready for these. I want to test what my Witch Doctor and my Monk and Wizard and Barbarian and stuff, I want to see what they can do, see how far I can get. So, great little addition. Legendary Gems, this is something that they haven't released a whole lot of information on, but I think this is going to be extremely cool. So, Greater Rifts drop Legendary Gems. Those gems can then be infinitely upgraded. So, my thinking is you're going to want, like, if you get, say, a 300 dexterity gem, because right now the cap is 280. So let's say a legendary gem drops, it's 300 dex. Then you complete more greater rifts, and you can upgrade it to like 310 dex, and then 320 dex. So it's just constantly being upgraded and constantly something different. That's at least what I get out of it, and I think that is going to be awesome. So there's the leaderboards. Here's a screenshot. Here's what it'll look like. I love how this guy's name's Hellscream, and then you got Deckard Cain and Garrosh, but at any rate, they're just going to keep track of who does the best. So there's the Greater Rift leaderboards. The season-only leaderboards, what I think they're doing is extremely cool. It's going to be based off of not only just level, but gear and achievements as well. Because if it was just off Paragon level, everybody would just be running experience grinds and XP farms and stuff like that. They wouldn't actually be playing the game. So I'm extremely happy about that. So some of the combat changes, dexterity and survivability. Finally, let me repeat that, finally they are changing dexterity. So demon hunters and monks are going to be greatly affected by this. So instead of giving you dodge for dexterity, they're giving armor, which is awesome. So dodge is extremely crappy stat when it comes to Diablo 3. There's too many mobs around and it's very unreliable. So having the armor is going to boost up your toughness and just be all around much better. So instead of giving you dodge, dexterity is going to give you armor, which is a much needed change in my opinion. Monks needed that change a lot. So healing, it's going to be different. Right now healing, everybody just kind of overlooks it because it doesn't really matter. They're changing health globes. They're not going to drop more often or less often. The drop rate of health globes is going to stay the exact same. What's going to be different is how much they heal. So that's going to provide a better life on hit stat and life regeneration stat. You're going to see the life on hit on gear and life regeneration on gear just go way up as we get, closer and closer to 500, 600,000 HP on most tunes now. A health globe healing you for, 3,000, or life on hit only doing 3,000 life on hit is slim to none, so nobody's using them. So they're going to revamp that whole situation, and it's going to look different on your character sheet, which I think is a much needed change. So last, what they talk about is the cesspools. I guess they created this really cool little map, and they just didn't use it. So now they're going to make cesspool only rifts. It's just another map for you to get to. It's a different landscape. It looks alright, but it's not that big a deal to me. The rest of the changes are much better. They also talk about rift stones. Instead of being 5 rift stones, it's only going to take 1 rift stone, but all 4 players in your party have to have the rift stone. So rift it forward is probably not going to happen anymore. I think that's a great change, though, to be honest, because then you don't have to go through and do a bajillion bounties. So let me see if where it mentions that at. Okay, well, I don't see it, but it's on there. I remember reading it. And let's go ahead and pop over here to the 2.1 Diablo wiki. This might have been where I read it to be honest. I wanted to call out this right here. One with everything is being removed. So this is going to essentially piss off a lot of monks. I mained a monk for a very long time, and let me tell you, this needed to happen. So right now, a monk, and this is the problem that I was having with my monk, and I eventually had to stop playing him. That's why I now main the Witch Doctor. But if you're a monk and you stack, say, only 200 all resist, but all of your gear has cold resist on it, and you use one with everything, now all of your all resists is like, let's say, 1,500, okay? So why does that cause a problem? Well, for one with everything is extremely overpowered. Having 15 all resist for a secondary stat is within itself just overpowered because no other class can do that. But the problem with it is now I have to attempt to find gear that only has cold resist on it in order to upgrade. So if I find something that gives me, 50 more dex, 1 more critical hit chance, and no more critical hit damage, and it would technically be an upgrade for every other tune, on my monk, if it has fire resist as opposed to cold resist, it is not an upgrade anymore, because I would lose, 150 to 200 all resist, essentially. So it's just not worth it. So they're removing this, and they're replacing it with a passive called Harmony. Now what Harmony does is give you 30% of your 1 base stat. Okay? So let's say you had 1,000 all resist, and you have 800 lightning resist. Alright? So right now, it would, in total, you would have 1,800 life resist with, or all resist with, 1 with everything. But now, with the change with Harmony, you'll only have 1,240. You see how that works? Instead of getting 1000 all resist from your gear plus the 800 lightning resist, giving you 1800 total all resist with one with everything. Now you're only going to have 1240. So it's good and it's bad. It's a nerf to the monks all resist and their toughness in general, but you get a lot of the toughness back now that they're switching dexterity to armor as opposed to dodge, and then you can still use harmony for now to keep all of your all resist up, because you're still running with, like mine, you're still running with a whole crap ton of cold resist gear. But this is a much needed change. I'm tired of using that passive. I'm tired of being confined to what I can use as gear. Everything has to have cold resist on it, and I'm very, very happy about the change. So I think it's a good thing. So, like I said, that's pretty much all they've released. I believe it goes live on the PTR soon, but it's not coming out for a while to go live on actual servers. But I'm very excited about the changes. I think patch 2.1 is going to keep me hooked on Diablo 3 for another long while. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informational. I hope you pulled some info out of it at least. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.